welcome back to Tifosi Time. This is episode 67 of your Serie A podcast, where we talk all things soccer. And one recent listener dubbed us the absolute perfect podcast for the soccer fans stuck in quarantine with no other entertainment options. So, welcome aboard if you're the first time you're joining us.
I'm flattered.
Get ready for a good ride. As always, we're coming live on YouTube and Twitch, 9 p.m. Eastern, New York time, and available on all podcasts. So hit us up, subscribe, like, join the conversation because it makes it more fun. So I'm Frank. Say hello, fellas.
Hey there.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
All right. So we are that's becoming a staple of this show, by the way. The fury and fire that we just open up and say hello with is just, I don't know.
No, this guy, they don't say hello to all.
Well, to be fair, he doesn't do a good job introducing us. So
I said say hello, fellas. None of the rest is
no,
on
fellas, say it by name. You have to say
he wants his name said.
Oh, he wants say hello, Chris.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'll make note of that for next time. I'm not going to remember it, but I'll make note of it. Anyway, for those of you that are following along the Serie A, then you know that we are in the winter break here. It is, what's today's date anyway? I think it's the 27th of December, and there were no games this week. So we are going to recap match
This
day
weekend.
19.
There were no games this weekend. Last week.
That's correct. They played midweek. We're gonna recap the midweek games and do some other things to entertain ourselves. So where do you guys want to start?
Question: you guys remember the games?
No, not really. We just fake it.
They were last Tuesday and Wednesday, right? It was a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
I think other day.
The best memory is Daddy has the best memory.
Friday, Saturday they play, no?
No, it was like Tuesday,
Friday.
Wednesday.
Was it? I don't even remember. Dom, throw up the thing so we can see the scores, but I don't even remember who played.
All right, so round 19 for those since our podcast listeners are blowing up far faster than our YouTube, and that makes sense because you can actually see our faces on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
We have a step that recaps the round 19 games. So, do you want me to go through the scores, guys? What games do you want to start off with? There were some big results here, I'll say, in this week. So, specifically Napoli losing to Spezia 0-1.
Let's just start through the top, and then we'll run through it. And then if anybody has anything to say about it, we'll take some time.
Go for it. Why don't you MC this slide?
All right. First game wasn't played because Salernitana had tons of COVID, and they weren't allowed to leave. So Udinese, Salernitana did not play, postponed or possibly forfeit. Salernitana might forfeit their entire rest of their season if they're not sold within the next week. So
I was gonna say, did they sell it yet?
They haven't sold them. I'm fine with them forfeiting. I hope that they forfeit the rest of the season. Honestly,
Why?
They suck, and it gives every team a bye week. So I would be in favor of them, get an automatic win if you're scheduled against them, and just move on, get them out of the league. They suck.
No, that would be a bad precedent for the league to not.
I don't care.
Yeah, but they knew these rules for how long?
Yeah, they knew these rules for forever. So I'm fine with them saying, "Hey, 3 points for everyone. You get a bye week."
Hey, by the way, usually the return, the return, is you played the team you played the first time. This time is all different.
Yeah, that's a good point.
As a matter of fact, Monday we're going to have it. Tomorrow, I think you're going to have the calendar.
Yeah, so it's a good call out. So typically, this is the first year that it's changed. Typically, the first half of the season you have your schedule, and then it just recycles for the second half of the season in the same order, right? You just play them away if you played the first time home. This time, the second half of the season is kind of just a round robin.
Hey, I don't understand the why. You say they did good?
No, I don't think it's good. I think they were trying to make it. I think they think this is more fair because it's that random. I don't know.
I don't know if it's that or they want to get better games towards the end of the season to make it more interesting. I have no. Maybe travel with COVID. Who knows?
So is this like an NFL thing where they're going to be adjusting the schedule as they go to pick the main games, or is
no?
This
I think no. That's
they
the
cannot
time.
do every
That's
week.
the time.
They cannot do every week.
Yeah, so they're just going to shoot out a new schedule, right, at random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does it help them? I mean, they could get. There's no guarantee you're going to get better games.
You see what they did. Take Juventus, I think Inter. They have a difficult month.
Yeah.
Juventus has Napoli, Milan.
We're going to talk about that. We're
going to go into all that. Yeah, I don't know I don't know what the actual goal was of this new switching it around, except for like saying that like they just wanted to make it random the second half, right? I can't think of anything else.
There's got to be a reason why they did it.
So yeah, but it's a good call out because if you're used to watching the league for many years, then it's going to be a little bit odd for you, like it's going to be for us.
Yeah, the whole thing I don't hear this year. The whole thing I don't hear it's the fans that talk about the playoff. When Juventus was winning, everybody was talking about playoff.
Yeah.
Now they don't want it. They don't like playoff.
Oh, good, because playoffs are stupid.
Yeah, but all right. So Salernitana Udinese's game was canceled. The next game on the docket was Genoa Atalanta, which ended up in a 0-0 tie.
Shevchenko gets his first point for Genoa.
Yep, Shevchenko gets his first point for Genoa, and this was one of the results I think that everyone took note of in terms of the week. At least I did. Big lost opportunity for Atalanta. And we've been saying it for a long time, like, oh, maybe they're going to finally, hit some stride, right? And I know they won some games, they won some results, but that's a really bad result for them.
It is bad, but then again, I always say this every week. They still have more points, I think, than last season at this point.
Oh yeah, this is the best start ever under Gasparini. But it's a bottom 3 team. You have to get 3 points.
You have to get 3 points because now it's the teams that are chasing Inter are giving them breathing room, right? And this was a chance for them to jump up in the top 4, and instead to me it's squandered, and you have to give them blame because they have not been consistent this year, and they give up too many goals and they lose points because of that, or they don't score for smaller teams and they give up points. So yeah, anything you guys want to say about the Genoa Atalanta game specifically?
No, in general, with this result, slowly Juventus has come closer to be at 50 place and look for the fourth position.
Yeah, well, round 19 overall.
We took a lot of points from Atalanta, Milan, and Napoli.
Yeah, for round 19 was a win for Inter and for Juventus overall. Those are the 2 teams that benefited.
Well, going back to Atalanta, I don't think this game, they had chances, whatever, they couldn't score, but they reinforced their offense with getting Boga, signing Boga from Sassuolo for $22 million in incentives.
Yeah,
a team that already has tons of offense, you would think that they would look for defense, and they keep getting more offense.
So there's the wrinkle in that too. The rumor is that Muriel's on his way out.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that too.
Yeah, but I think right now that Atalanta need more defense than.
So they're rumored to get rid of Lovato for loan.
The Lovato they gave it to some team, right?
I don't know, Genoa or Cagliari, one of those teams want him.
Yeah, to Cagliari.
Yeah. They're not reinforcing the defense; they're getting more offense, which is weird to me.
Yeah, and I get it if Muriel's leaving, but don't forget Muriel for the last 2 seasons has meant so much for them, and I know he's not doing that this year, but that was one of the people that you thought might get hot for them, and they might kick it into that extra gear. So I don't know.
Let me ask you something. Boga is going to go to Africa too, right?
Yes,
he should be.
So they get every service in a month.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's younger, right? So it's more of a long-term move. That's the only thing. Where Muriel's older.
Muriel, I think one of you guys picked him to be top goal scorer for the league. I did. He's definitely had an off season.
He's had a very bad, off. Well, he was hurt a lot of it too.
Mm-hmm. So that's their piece of news as far as transfers. Which the good thing about them is that they know what they want to do and they get it done quickly. And there's no pain that you got to sit through. And is it going to happen? It was talked about for a couple days.
I don't think they are on the right track.
Yeah, I don't know if that move is going to help them.
Even the good. I don't think they need the right to know.
Because the problem is finding him space to play, right? Like consistently. He's going to bring his element of speed. Like he's going to refresh the roster a little bit. But what about the defense?
If they have to give up Muriel, I don't know what defense is.
you know,
The
and
issue is Muriel and him play different positions. They
yeah,
don't play the same position, so it's where he's gonna play left wing for you. They don't typically play with the left wing. You know, they have their fullbacks that play on the wing. So
well, it could be also because they've been missing Gosen so much, and that's why we've been saying they don't have that same person on the wing now. But
But
I
I love him as a player. I think.
Yeah,
oh
me too.
no,
I
you
think it's a
guys
good
have been
signing.
big Boga fans for a long time, and it's not that he's bad. It's just Lovato going to Coyote is probably a good thing because I don't think Gasparini had any intention of playing him right now. So you might as well let him go play a half a year. But I still the defense has been a big problem, and it's just like they're just like we're gonna keep going the way I don't know. It's like never learning your lesson almost, right?
Well, it's early. Maybe they're not done. Maybe they have some other stuff.
Mhm. Next game, you had Juventus 2, Coyote 0. I mean, this is again against a bottom 3 team. You have to get 3 points over here. Again, Juventus wins. They're, I think, 4 wins, 1 draw in the last 5 games. This was not impressive to me the way they played either. They got
So
the
remind
win.
me because we were talking about this game after it happened. I think, and again, my memory is horrible. Were we not slamming them? How they got the 2 points? But was this game? Didn't they not play good?
They lost to 2 points to Venezia. If you think about.
So for this game,
could have been 5 games, 15 points.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
They should have won. Look how I to that.
He gets so mad.
Come on, with Venezia, we should win, no?
Yeah, they should have won versus a lot
Yeah,
of teams.
but I think the point of this game, was the takeaway. They scored and they won, but it was a battle to score.
Okay, their first goal was Bernadeschi firing it off Moise Kean's head. And
that's right.
Into the net.
That's right.
That was not a good goal. That was another luck goal. The second goal, yes, Bernadeschi, moved it off to the left and fired it far post. That was actual real goal.
But also he could have potentially didn't he get a hand on that?
No.
Or no? Am I thinking last week?
No, it was
and it's Chesney did the goal.
Chesney, I was just about to say Chesney played.
Yeah, Chesney made a great save when it could have been 1-1. And then Coyote had a second chance, right? The header that they just missed right over.
Dalbert just missed to the left.
Yeah, but that's it. Post. That's it. Oh, don't exaggerate. That's what they have.
No, but that's it. But that's how the season's gone, right? Up to this point,
they didn't do great things.
But think about
the chance. But
think about the games where they lost points, right? Udinese, Empoli, all these games have been the same kind of thing where it's like they don't score. The team gets 1 or 2 chances and they tie or lose. And this game could have went into Chesney earned us points, right? Like he lost his points for Udinese. He gained us points because if they would have tied 1-1 at that moment, I don't think we would have won, to be honest with you. Just because they haven't proven they've done that before.
Listen, we've seen them drop points in these types of games. It wasn't as bad as the other games, but it wasn't good. I was not.
We say it every week. We're not impressed after every game. No. We're like, they won, great, fantastic, but they're not good.
Yeah, but think positive. If we win and we play bad, let's say, for a moment, let's say we got 2 people in January good, and we sell the one away. Hey, we turn around everything.
Yeah, no, listen, that's a big if, but yeah, that could change things.
Yeah. What do you mean what happened? 2 people make a difference in the Juventus.
Of course they do.
But at the end of the day, what the amazing part is, as bad as they've played, they're within 5 points.
That I'll give credit for. That's a win.
That's a win.
To be just out of Champions League with this shit team and the way they played, that's impressive.
It also, I think, speaks more to the other teams that have stumbled, right? Mm-hmm. Milan, Napoli, and Atalanta have stumbled and let us come back. We'll take it though, right? Because we also gave them a lot of head start, so it's kind of balancing out.
The whole thing, where Inter is going to go.
Yeah.
If we win the next game, Milan lose, let's say, nobody's going to pick it.
No, I think Inter is going to have a hard time losing at this point.
It's going to be a big choke job if they lose. I don't see
so a big surprise was Bologna's as well. Not that Bologna could not win, but to win that.
Yeah, that was a shocking one. Yeah.
So for those who don't know, Bologna beat them 3-0, beat Sassuolo 3-0. They could have had more goals, to be honest. Sassuolo played their backup goalie, and he made some nice saves. But
Sassuolo played bad, really bad.
Sassuolo played bad, but Bologna turned it on. They have these games where they're really good and really bad. And This is one of the games where they were really good. And,
Yeah, I think they could have had like 4 or 5. If I
Yeah,
remember,
yeah,
right?
no. Their backup goalie made a lot of saves.
I think did Kirikesh play? I think that's why they lost. He's terrible. It's freaking awful.
And this guy gets beaten by you guys every week.
Wait, but so also going to Sassuolo, the big rumors for Tezzi and Scamacca, everyone wants them. I don't blame them. I hope one of them goes to Juventus.
Yeah, the numbers you're talking about, Scamacca, you hear 35 million, 40 million for him. I won't pay that much for him.
But you see, listen to me. It look like apparently look like it's going to be our player, Scamacca, right? But I would not do this deal.
I would
not.
How much money?
I would have concentrated on Abramovich.
Me too.
Even in June.
Yeah, it's one thing if you were able to get a guy like Scamacca at 15 million. That's a different conversation. 35, no. Because that's real money that you have to decide. Like, you know what I mean? That's like, oh, we can't get the guy we really want for 70.
I mean, you go like a score more than Keane.
I mean, he's better than Keane, honestly. I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit better.
I think he scores 12 to 15 goals a year, but he's not going to play that much. So who knows?
After tournament is gone.
Yeah, no. I mean, between now and the end of the year, if you got him, what could you sign him up for? What would you guys be happy with if they got him?
Well, you scored 5, 7
goals. 8 goals would be good, right?
10 would be good. Of the season,
10 would be good. 8 or 10 would be good.
10 would be insane. You're not getting 10.
No, I don't know if you're getting
7
10.
goals, you'd be happy with that.
I'd be disappointed with 5 for sure. That's like
5 is like a waste of money. 8 is like
waste of money. No, plus, I know if you buy this guy 35 million, you don't have money for Vlahovic.
No, exactly. Now you put in the 35 that we owe for Kane.
You know, if you don't spend this money in June, because apparently Vlahovic wants to go to Juventus.
Yeah.
And so if you don't spend this 35 million, you can afford to pay him 70 or 80 to
that's the thing. Be patient. He's
yours.
Vlahovic is yours. Just be
patient.
This
is going to be this is going to be interesting, Dan, to your point, because they know they're scrapping to try to get to the Champions League because their budget is based on them getting to the Champions League. So it's like, what kind of move can they make that's either improves the team enough without breaking the bank so we can still go get players we really want like Vlahovic? Or can you go get a guy who's like good now and in the long term, but they don't have the money for those people now. So the worst thing would be to overpay for a mediocre guy, so you end up with more guys you don't want next year that you can't get rid of.
I agree. I don't think he's mediocre though.
Who, Scamacca? I like Scamacca. I just don't think he's a 25 goal scorer.
Scamacca is good, but if it was a Juventus, I would invest. If I want to spend the 35 million, I would go get a Luca. 20 million now.
Well, so I was going to say, if I'm Juventus, here's my 3 options.
Serie B, Luca.
Yeah, are Vlahovic, Luca, Scamacca in that order? I don't know.
No, about Luca. Luca, you can get 20 million because next year is going to be 40 million, Luca.
Luca
it's Serie B.
He's good, but he hasn't proven anything yet. So that's
you have to believe or not. In this case, you believe or not. You don't let it go like Sakasano, things like that. Or, you know.
I actually disagree. I think you go Vlahovic and then you try to bring in Fratesi before he ends up being double.
Oh, but that's different.
I don't think
because you need the midfield. Like, you can't get all forwards. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so many spots.
Right now, we are talking about the forward.
Yeah, but you can only get one, right?
The intention they're talking about Scamacca. Between Scamacca and between this situation, the economic situation, I would go to Luca. Right now, you can get 15 to 20 million.
Yeah, if you're willing to gamble on him. But does that mean you don't get Vlahovic next year?
No, you get anyway.
Okay, but how many? So you got to sell people.
Oh, yeah, all these people, as long as they live. You see, if they live, Ramos, Rabiot, company, just on salary, you know how much you save.
Oh,
yeah, but I'm saying forward. You only have so many positions.
Well,
right?
He's assuming Morata's gone.
Morata,
Morata, you're not going to renew. But Kane,
you can try to sell.
You owe 35 million. So what are you going to do? Buy him for 35 and sell him for 15?
I don't know. You have to cut the loss.
That's what I'm saying. You already locked yourself in with stupid moves. So, like, what I would do is, honestly, if you can't, assuming you can't get Vlahovic, I would go try to get a loan for Icardi. Just to get me through the second half of the year.
Yeah, but Icardi wants 10 million, 9 million, 10 million salary.
Just a loan for the rest of the year.
No, it was the salaries, just 9-10.
Yeah, just a loan for the end of the year because he's not playing. And then
Icardi is a risk. I like him. He can score his goal,
Yeah.
but it's a risk because you remember who's married to.
Yeah, I understand.
Dan
That's why I'm
knows.
not buying him. I'm loaning him for 6 months, for 3 months. I'm gonna go score me 10 goals. That's all I'm gonna do.
You guys are. I'm keeping quiet. You guys are all wrong. The move is no move at all. Do not buy anyone. It's Vlahovic or bust. You do it what you have right now. Go for the fourth spot. Maybe you add a midfielder, and that's it.
Yeah, but what if they don't?
Get rid of people if you
Yeah,
can.
but if they don't make
That's
the
it.
Champions League, Dan Vlahovic is
Vlahovic
out.
he's still coming. He's
Yeah,
still
No, they
coming.
don't have the money.
No, he's still coming.
In a way, I think like Daniel is saying, I would get a Zakaria, right? Just a Zakaria, right?
That's
Even a Zakaria, leave the money for Vlahovic already. Get the
But even if you don't get him, you don't get him. The move is Vlahovic. You don't want any of these other guys.
We agree the move is Vlahovic, but you do realize that the budget was was based on them making the Champions League. The $400 million that they put in for the loss, isn't enough if they don't make the Champions League.
Oh, never mind the championship.
That's the money they get.
No, you want to buy. No, you want to buy someone. You sell all the people you don't need. You save on salary.
Oh, if it was that easy to sell them, guess what? They would have been gone already 2 years ago. How many? Yeah. So there's a question in the chat, which is a fair point, right? How many goals does Vlahovic have next season if our midfield stayed the same?
4.
No, you're not going to stay the same.
The question is, in that scenario,
You're not going to stay the same because I told you now I would buy just Zakaria, one player. Zakaria.
It doesn't matter buying him or not. It's not going to be that midfield next season, so you can't answer that question.
Okay, but
if he's going to come midway through this season with this current midfield, you can say how many people. How many goals so midway this season, he's getting another 12 goals.
I still think he scores 10 and 12 goals with this midfield.
I think that's too high. This team does not create chances. They're terrible.
Yeah, Producer's saying
6. No, I think he gets closer to 10 goals even with this midfield.
Oh.
Vlahovic in the second half of the year.
For the Juventus.
Yeah.
You guys think he's coming?
More than 10.
No, we're just saying hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
We know he's not coming, and that midfield's not going to be an option next year. It's going to be different. So the only way you can raise that question. I just think
you guys are also undervaluing the financial place they're in. Like, they have no money. And you guys are all like, oh, Champions League.
Frank, who told you they have no money?
They have $368 million in debt that they had to restructure.
For $400 million.
Yes, $400 million was to restructure debt that they already had.
Listen, already they're talking about between the championship, the money they get from the championship, right? Between the money they want to save on salary, if they do, on salary, just to save on salary.
Yeah.
Between renew. Come si chiama? Morata. They can get $200,000, $200 million.
Guess what? The first big thing you said was the championship. That's what I'm saying to you.
He's saying the money this season that they're getting from Champions League is already a crap load of money.
Yeah. The last figures I saw was that the $360 million was used to restructure debt that they had.
Okay, I think we're getting too deep into this. Vlahovic wants to come to Juventus. That's the play.
That's the move. That's the move. But
so I think they'll find a way to get a player like that to the team. So this is all just
and that's why I pitched my thing of getting. I think they need a little bit more scoring, but they don't lock themselves into.
I'll tell you something, guys. If we lose Vlahovic, Juventus is end up the end of the Juventus.
Yeah, because I agree.
The elite is going to leave. The Bala too. No, but who's going to be left in there?
You need a superstar, and he's the superstar. If they don't get him, Juventus is going to be mediocre for the next 5 years at least.
Yeah. No, listen, they're on the precipice of either turning it around or.
Actually, I tell you something too. If you get the Vlahovic, you can get rid of even the Bala.
Well, I agree. I agree with that. I'd get rid of him anyway, but I would do that. Let's continue with this round of games because we changed that to a transfer topic, even though we're in the middle of these games. You had Lazio win 3-1 over Venezia. I mean, Lazio scoring goals finally. Great. Pedro, I like him. He's playing well.
Pedro's playing well. Huh?
Pedro's good. He's a good player. You had Rome tie Sampdoria. This game, I believe Rome had the lead. I forget who scored. I just watched the highlights of this game too. Shomurodov scored. He was a sub. He came on and scored. And then Gabbiadini scored after that to tie it up.
I don't remember that game at all.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
you watch it.
Roma, Sampdoria, Hellas, Verona, Fiorentina, they allow us to go in the fifth place.
Yeah.
Just to go.
Rome is rumored to get an Arsenal midfielder. What's his name? Chris Niles or something?
Oh, I
like
don't
that?
know. I forget his name, but it's already going through. Like it's going to be a loan option to buy.
A loan, yeah, and then $10 million to buy him afterwards, and then they're working out the contract with him. So
Apparently, he wants to play for Mourinho. So.
And Mourinho's selected him as like the guy that he wants. So that's good for Rome to reinforce the midfield and getting someone that Mourinho wants. So we'll keep an eye on for that. That's not official. But it's pretty much, they're working hard on it. Verona versus Fiorentina 1-1. Vlahovic did not score. He did not get the record for goals in the year. Castrovilli finally scored a nice diving header. Verona scored on Lasagna, Chris, your favorite forward.
The worst finisher in Europe.
Tarashanu was just in no man's land and just, went to the side and stuck it near post.
Fiorentina.
Simeone missed a really bad sitter that was a wide open net that he should have scored to make them win.
And Fiorentina made a move for a winger.
Yeah, Ikone.
Yeah.
From Lille. $15 million they paid plus extras. That one's official. That one's going through. So they're bolstering the offense with Gonzalez, Vlahovic, and him now.
Wait, and also going back to Verona, rumors, our boy Barak, people want him.
Barak's a good player, man.
I thought it was funny.
It's okay.
Barak for Verona is a good player.
It's okay. Not a very good player.
Inter, not a good
He's
player.
totally the type of player, though, on a team like Verona. If they can sell him and get 15 million plus, you sell him and you replace it with somebody else.
They got him for nothing. They didn't pay a lot
you
for
replace him with. You can find.
But then they make moves
to
and get Lasagna for $10 million, and it's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Who's buy Lasagna? Who's buy?
No, he's saying they bought Lasagna for $10 million.
No, but they want to sell too. They want us to go.
Who the hell's thinking it?
They have to beg someone to take
Juventus.
Juventus.
I'm telling you, I won't watch a game ever again.
Need that speed. God. Inter 1, Torino nothing. Inter, again, keep winning. They're not really in the move. They might make a move here or there, but their moves are just signing up their players they have right now to longer term deals. Just re-signing Brozovic, trying to get all these deals done because they have a solid team.
Inter play like Juventus before. They just know what they have to win. They win.
Yeah.
Even if they play bad.
Yeah, they just check games off, another result, and that's how you know. That's how you know they're going to run away with it because no other team has been able to be that consistent.
Their big move will be signing Onana and they're getting him next year.
Yeah, that one's pretty much official. They got Handanovic's new, his replacement. Onana.
Yeah, but Onana, Banana, whoever.
He's good.
Even in Milan bought Mignan, come si chiama? Magnan.
Yeah.
If the team doesn't do good, there is no goal that can.
Well, but he's a good goalie. They're getting him from free.
But the goal, they're good as good as the team too.
Yeah, but you got to say though, Inter with Morata going there, they're acting more like Juventus did 5 years ago. They're getting like smart people free. Like they're just, they're
it's
not.
It's a good signing. It's a really good signing.
You could just tell when the people that are in charge know what they're doing. That the team, it's easier for the ship to get in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And Dumfries had another goal. He's really turning it on for Inter. Getting more playing time and getting more comfortable. So.
And talk about Marotta. There is a rumor we're going to get Giunto from Napoli.
Oh yeah, as the president.
So that means they already understood the Caribbean is now. They already started was temporary.
You're talking about Juventus looking for a new head of whatever, basically.
Yeah,
sporting director.
Yeah, I say they should go steal the guy from Atalanta, but whatever.
No, but that was in consideration even Carnaval, so.
Yeah, he can spot talent, that's for sure.
Milan beat Empoli 4-2. This game is an exciting game. Empoli had a lot of chances, actually. They could have scored 3 or 4 on their own, but, Milan scored, they finished their chances and they won.
Empoli's put up some satisfying games this year.
Yeah, no, they
I know, but Empoli, they say I'm agree. I play good game, but I think they play some game. They play too relaxed. I
Well,
mean, they don't care if they get a full
Yeah,
goal.
they don't play like they're scared of anyone. I'll give them
No.
that.
but I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you get the good and the bad, right? They give up a lot of goals some days, and some days they beat teams.
The other end, if Empoli is due to go in Serie B again, it's better play like
They're not going anywhere
They're
near
not
Serie
going.
A.
They're not gonna go
It's
Serie.
a better. It's one of the small teams. It's better to play like that with
Yeah,
enough
exactly.
fear instead
Well-
of they don't play like Cagliari.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
exactly.
they go into every game knowing they have nothing to lose. So why not just go after it? Like, it's smart. It's fun.
And they have talented players. But Bajrami, he scored another really nice goal, one-timer goal.
Henderson's a good player.
They got some decent players, and they made smart moves. Like
Well,
loan moves. Pinamonte,
Napoli
they got
Spezia, which was a surprise. They say Spezia never shot a goal.
Spezia. Yeah, so that's the last game.
It was
It
an
was
own
an
goal,
own
wasn't
goal.
it?
It was an
Yeah,
own
own
goal.
goal.
Spezia beat Napoli 1-0. Napoli had more of the chances. Providel played a nice match. The Spezia goal,
Yeah.
he made some nice saves. Napoli did miss some chances wide, but they
They
had a
never
ton
shoot
of
a goal.
shots.
Spezia.
Yeah, but they won. It happens.
Well, it's nice to see that it's not just happening to Juventus this year, right? Now it's starting to balance out because I mean, that's Napoli had more chances. They should have scored, but in the end of the day,
No,
this is
and,
like,
and you see Napoli beat Milan last week. That huge win, and then they put up a stinker against Bet like that. That can't happen. If you want to make top four, if you want to be in the race to the end, you can't lose 3 points to. You can't lose 3 points to Spezia. And I don't care if they didn't have Osimhen or Insigne or whatever. You still have to beat Spezia. Spezia, who's rumored to fire Motta once January hits because they're sick of him and they're just waiting for not to fire him so he gets a $400,000 buyout. They're waiting for that to expire so that then they can fire him. So
I could have told you that before they hired him.
yeah, I mean, I picked him to be the first coach fired in this season. So I was surprised. The reason
but
it
they
took so
haven't been
long,
they haven't been the worst team though.
I feel like
they're up there. They're pretty good.
Alec Baldwin might get fired next.
Alec Baldwin.
And the president said the whole one in question is Baldwin.
For those listening, Baldwin is Mazzarri.
We're talking about Coyotes coach
He
Mazzarri.
gave up. He even changed his enthusiasm. Before he used to yell and scream. Now
Now he just sits and smiles.
He's in retirement mode, man. So that rounds up round 19. Dom, do you want to throw up the standings so we can look at it?
All right, so
Go ahead, Frank.
the table mid-season, we have Inter in first place after 19 games at 46 points. AC Milan is in second, 4 points behind them with 42. Napoli dropped to third with 39 points. Atalanta is fourth with 38 points. And then Juventus magically up to fifth at 34 points.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy to me.
I think we can get it to the championship.
I think so
Because
too.
I think Milan is going to go down too.
Well, listen, now there's three teams within striking distance, right? Two that are really close. It's going to come down now to the head-to-the-head games that they really count as doubles.
No. I think it's between the three places between four teams.
Yeah,
We have
I think-
Milan,
which is
Napoli,
what
Atalanta,
last year too.
Juventus.
Which is what.
So
and
chance increase already.
but I would include. I mean, you never know if Fiorentina. could continue.
No.
Wait, so you're saying there's two spots up for grabs, and I see 5 teams. Any of 5 teams.
Two spots. There is a 3 spots program.
No.
I mean,
Milan is going to go down.
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, they're 8 points ahead of Juventus, though. That's
Yeah, it's a 2 game.
That's more than 2
They're
games.
10 points ahead of Rome and Fiorentina. That's a lot. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's not impossible, but it's a
And
lot.
the good thing is that nothing is settled. There's tons that can happen. And then on the other side of the bracket, you have Spezia right outside the bottom 3 with 16 points.
It's like going Serie B from Venezia down. I don't think Sampdoria
Yeah.
with the net.
If you want to include, I'll include the bottom 5, like you said, as the chances of the teams
Venezia, Spezia,
with a
Genoa.
chance to get relegated. You have Venezia, Spezia, Genoa, Coyotes, Salernitana.
If you put it Salernitana 1 for them, and two from Venezia, Spezia, Genoa, Cagliari.
Yeah, so Genoa, who's the third from the bottom, has 11 points, and then Spezia has 16, and Venezia has 17.
Now
So
well, go ahead, finish your point.
No, so there's 5 points basically separating third from the bottom and fourth from the bottom. So it's not those 5 teams are definitely in play. Now, of course, if Venezia and Spezia make it 9 or 10, they might settle the bottom half before the top half gets.
Well,
Yeah.
let me tell you, one team I'm pulling for is Venezia. I love everything they do, man. I do not want them to go down at all.
No, I don't want them to go down.
Venezia.
Yeah. I want them to stay up.
Here's the thing I'll say about Venezia and Spezia. The teams underneath them, Genoa and Cagliari, they make moves in the winter all the time when they struggle. So you're already hearing that they're going to loan this guy, they're going to take this guy, that guy on both those teams because Genoa and Cagliari are both going to make moves. So they're going to put a lot of pressure on Spezia and Venezia to keep those spots.
Genoa, they say Genoa's money.
Genoa does have money. Yeah.
And Spezia has Verde, though. So,
so that's the standings. Let's just check the predictions from last week, even though I don't want to because I sucked ass. I gained 0 points this week, again, 2 weeks in a row. Pietro had 3 points. He got one score exactly right. He got the Rome Samp game exactly right, and then he got the Verona-Fiorentina game as a tie. He got that right. Chris got Verona-Fiorentina right. Frankie got Inter-Torino. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Frank got Inter and Torino and the Verona game also. So the standings are Chris has 38, Frank has 31.
You left. Chris,
I have 27.
You're like Inter, Christopher. You left.
Oh, I'm killing you guys.
Listen, I was making fun of him all season. He's only 3 points behind me. He's got 24 points somehow. What the hell happened?
But he's been on like really good roll.
Like 3 weeks.
He had 8 points like a month ago, and now all of a sudden he's got 24. So I haven't gotten a point in 2 weeks yet, and there's been like 3 rounds. In 2 weeks.
See, either way, I'm like Juventus.
Yeah, okay.
And they are in the class.
You're not going to sniff the championship?
I don't know. I'm going to catch Frank for sure.
Me.
So yes, everyone makes top 4 in this, and it's still wide open. We have the whole rest of the season to see where it's going to end. One last thing I wanted to go. Well, 2 things I wanted to go over. Upcoming games. We're not going to do next because there's no games again this week. Coming up because they're still on break. But I put out a little graph here for the next 6 games for the top 5 teams, so we can take a look at how important these games are going to be in January and early February, and that could decide the title here.
Do you think Juventus and Napoli is going to be a game?
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that. So Juventus Napoli, what they're saying because of COVID, they might get postponed.
Yeah, they might call the doctor.
Yeah, I mean, what is that? Napoli pushing for that because they don't have a lot of players?
Yeah, they did the hotel.
They did the same thing last year.
They forgot when we went to Napoli, we played with 7 people. All young people we put.
Dom, make the graph bigger. We don't need to see our faces. Let's kind of go through so the people listening can kind of see.
Before you read through it, Frank, just to give you a heads up, I didn't put the Super Cup, which is Inter Juventus, in the middle of this, and then there's also Italian Cup games for each of these teams also in the middle of these games. So the schedule is insane. It's packed. So,
okay.
But those aren't there.
That's good to know. So the next 6, this is the next 6 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. So let me just read it off. So Inter's next 6 games, even though I think we'll agree they're kind of off and running and I don't think it's going to really matter. They're at Bologna, home versus Lazio, at Atalanta, home versus Venezia, home versus AC Milan, and then is that an at Napoli?
Yeah,
that's tough.
That's tough.
But this is the new calendar or just?
Yeah, this is the new one.
That's the calendar that I have that I found. That's their January plus the beginning of February, 6 games. So that's a very hard schedule.
That's a very hard schedule. So they have a games versus Lazio, which they're gonna win. They're gonna, but then they have Atalanta.
No, Lazio is the only team that beat Inter this year.
Yeah.
So you can't just say they're gonna win.
It's a tough 6 games. I mean, if they don't do that the right way, they could let some of these other teams get back in the championship.
If Inter is gonna mess up, the mess up is gonna happen now, and they're gonna leave the door open. If they don't mess up through this, they're home free.
Yeah, they have to be less points. They have to be closer to the pack after this group of 6 games, not further away. right? I mean, I think that's fair to say. Napoli has Juventus,
At
right?
Juventus, yeah.
At Juventus, home versus Sampdoria, at Bologna, home versus Salernitana, at Venezia, and then home versus Inter. So Napoli doesn't have that hard of a schedule compared to Inter. Really, the first game versus Juventus and the sixth game versus Inter.
Yes, but they have African nations. They have African nations where they're going to be missing a bunch of players. So their schedule is harder than it looks.
And Daddy made a good point. Bologna is not easy. And even Sampdoria can give them a hard time.
But you have to understand, Napoli is the best because he's going to avoid Juventus with a doctor.
They're going to avoid
well, listen, that's not official or anything. I know people
they're going to be like that. I'm not kidding. Napolitano, we know them already.
I mean, they're currently in third place. You know, if they got to stay in that top four. What do you see? They get 3 wins out of this. Are you happy with 3 wins out of these games for them?
No, I think if you're Napoli, you have to. Let's see. At a potential, there's 6 games, so potential 18 points. I think you got to walk away with 13, 14 points.
What? Napoli? That's not happening.
I think you got to. I mean, compared to because Napoli, you're going to then have. Yeah, I mean, to be happy. He said, "What would make them happy?"
They get 9 points out of this. They're happy with the players they don't have available. 9 points.
Yeah.
And they're
9
happy.
points seems low to me.
And
9 points. 9 points. They lose a. What'd you say, Chris?
Anything above 9, I think is.
Oh, they have a lot of people let it play out.
Yeah,
I understand, but the game's only going to get harder.
Yeah. See,
they're only going to get harder.
It's going to be a struggle for them. I don't think it's a cakewalk like you think it is.
I'm not. No, I don't think it's a cakewalk. You asked me the 2 separate questions. What would I be happy? And I think I'd be happy if I was Napoli walking 12 plus points. I'd be happy.
Yeah, but be realistic though. Like you're not being realistic. That's
dropping 6 out of 18 points. That's 33% loss of points. Like for a team that's in the top 3, like that's you can't lose more than that.
You think they're going to win 4 of those 6?
I don't think they're going to do that. No. Again, the question was, what would they? Now, if you're telling me they're sitting there going, "Give me 8 points," I'd be ecstatic. Then they already lost. They're already going to come. They're already going to fall out of the top 4 if that's their mentality. I'm just telling you, they're 2 different questions, right? Like,
I mean, we'll see how it plays out. 9 points, might be like a miracle, depending on how these games are played and what they have available.
You have to take in consideration other things. All this game, they don't have time to rest.
No.
Yeah,
they
it's
are
all
in
cramped.
3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. How many days, Dan, do we know roughly the 6 games? Like, is it within 20 days?
Oh, no. Like, I think that when they get back next week, it's a midweek game, and then right after it's the weekend. Like, they cram the first 2 games back to back in 3 days apart.
Yeah.
So those games, it's gonna come flying. It's quick. Plus Italian Cup, plus the Super Cup also.
Yeah, the like European stuff starts in February.
Yeah. So no, this is crammed very tightly.
So then for Milan, their next 6 games are home versus Rome, at Venezia, home versus Spezia, home versus Juventus, at Inter, which is really a home game anyway, and then home versus Sampdoria.
Oh, look, us, right? On the 6th, we play Napoli, right? We should have played Napoli. Now, between we play Inter and the 12th.
Yeah.
So, and between them, we will play Rome. 3 days apart.
He's talking about Juventus, even though we're not.
We're not even at Juventus. We were talking about Milan.
We're talking about Milan. We'll get to Juventus. So this game, Milan, I mean, there's 6 games plus Italian Cup in the middle of it. That schedule that you just rolled off, they're tough ones: Rome, Juventus, Inter.
So you tell me what would make Milan happy out of these games.
Milan currently in 2nd place. I mean, like I said, I think with all these teams, you get 9, 10 points. I think you're happy.
Well, yeah, if you just pack in how close, jam-packed the schedule is, and maybe any team could just say, 10 points, I'm happy.
Yeah, because you got to figure these teams are going to beat up on each other, too. A lot of them play, each other.
Daniel, you say 9 points, right? But they are 18 points. So they lose half.
That's what I'm saying. I think for a team that's in 2nd, you have to go in, you have to, home, you should beat Rome. You got to beat Venezia, Spezia. So you have 9. Then you can say, okay, can I get 3 points between Juventus and Inter game?
Yeah, but I'm also factoring in no Kessie, no Benacer because of the African nations. Like it's not as easy as you think.
It's not easy, but
They
again,
have injuries, and their schedules, it's compact. Like
it's not easy. But to end up in the top 1 or 2 teams, that's what you have to do. No,
Zlatan plays 1 out of 6 games when it's a week apart. He's gonna play. He's gonna get hurt in the second game here, and they're gonna have no striker. You know, like it's not gonna be easy for them at all. But they have a lot of home games. That's going for them. You know, 4 of their 6 are home, which is good. But I don't know. I
anyway,
think
you say Napoli and Milan. You say if they have a 9, they're happy, right? Both of them. So in other words, from the 18 points, they have to give out to 9 points.
I think 9. They're not. I think you got to get at least. I think you got to get at least 10, 11 points.
Yeah, at least.
You can't drop 50% of your points in 6 games. Like that's considered a crisis with Juventus.
Yeah. Well, they will.
Well, it's been happening all season. We'll get to them because they're going to drop a lot. Atalanta's next because they're in 4th place. They have home versus Torino, at Udinese, home versus Inter, at Lazio, home versus Cagliari, and then home versus Juventus with an Italian Cup game thrown in the middle of that.
It's the same reason. 9 points, if you don't get 10, 11,
that's not easy. Those games.
No, it's not easy. I mean, this is where I think the season's going to be made. I think because the teams that can come out of here with 12, 13, when everybody else is getting 8, 9, is going to be able to build on that. I think after this 6-game stretch,
probably going to be Inter.
Yeah, but Inter, the first 2 games, if they beat Bologna and Lazio, they go leave. They leave us.
Yeah,
they leave every. But if they Bologna and Lazio, they do something, they get in place with them too.
Yeah. Let's go to Juventus. They have home versus Napoli, if that's played, we don't know. At Rome, home versus Udinese, who stole points from the first time. At Milan, and then home versus Verona, and then at Atalanta.
I think Juventus has the hardest 6 games.
No, I don't think so.
I do.
That's a difficult 6 games. With
Verona is not a gimme game to any team. They play hard. Udinese already beat us once.
Yeah, but Juventus, if you play with a good team, they play better.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. But I mean, Napoli, Rome, Milan, and Atalanta. I mean, you figure even in a good year, you win 3 of those. In a good year, you don't win all 4.
I know that's very tough, man.
And that's hard to do. With the way we're playing now, like, is 2 realistic and 2 ties?
So Juventus is how many points behind Atalanta? 2?
4.
No.
Right. Currently, how many points are they?
I think 4.
4 points behind them? No, yeah, 4 points. 4 points. So can they gain 4 points on Atalanta in this?
Based off that schedule?
Based off that schedule. No, I don't
go back
think
to
so.
the schedule. I mean,
I would say no.
I feel like.
Yeah, but that's not important.
I feel like if they gain 1 point, it's good.
It's winning all tonight. 4th place.
No,
4th place.
No, this is not important. You know why? Because Allegri, he wasn't expecting this situation before January.
He's not what?
You understand? This is a situation we're in before January. They anticipate the position because Allegri was saying as long as we are in February, March, 4 or 5 points behind.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say. I think, yes, he's as shocked as we are that they're only 4 or 5 points now. But don't forget, it could go the other way, too. If Juventus doesn't play well, they could easily make 4 or 5 points, 7, 8, or 9.
That's for everybody. It's all
I
have to say.
Yeah. I think Juventus has to make a statement and try to come out of this with, even though they have a hard schedule, 10 to 12 points. Make a statement.
The only thing I can say about Juventus, when Juventus play a good team, they play better.
Yeah, and then when they play a bad team, they play terrible.
Because don't forget, we have Allegri. We don't have somebody. We know Allegri how we play. We get there, score 1 goal, stay.
It's really entertaining.
No,
So-
result. We talk about result. We don't talk about
They haven't gotten them.
play
So
good.
let me ask you this question. Let's just go around the horn. Who do you think out of this 5 teams has the hardest 6 games?
Juventus.
Let's go around. Chris says Juventus.
Yeah.
Dan, what do you say?
I think Inter.
Yeah.
Inter's got a very hard schedule.
I would agree until Inter's up there, but I still think considering where they are as teams, Juventus has the hardest.
I think
Inter's got a
Milan.
lot of momentum.
I think Milan.
You think Milan really?
How can you say Milan with Venezia and Spezia on the schedule? How
Yes,
can you
in
say
Roma,
that?
Juventus, Inter, and Sampdoria.
Okay, Venezia, Spezia, and Samp. Samp's got
Yes,
20.
Spezia,
Venezia's got
Venezia.
17. Spezia's got 16. Those are not good
Yeah,
teams.
but they did a good game. They tied this game.
No, but Inter has Venezia too, and they have Bologna, and then they have Lazio.
Yes,
Yeah,
Milan.
but Bologna Lazio, they're a little bit.
Listen, I think Inter has the hardest schedule. I think it will not matter because they're going to be well far in advance anyway. It doesn't matter. I think Juventus has the second hardest schedule, and I think they will not in those 6 games they will not catch up to Atalanta or gain points on them.
No way. I don't
So
think
neutral. Okay, so that's another question. Maybe think if they come out of these 6 games and they're point neutral, meaning they're still 4 or 5. They're 4 points behind the 4th place.
I would be
team.
happy about that.
I think that's not necessarily a bad thing.
If they're 4 points behind still, yes, they're not panicking. I don't see any way that they are less than 4 points behind the 4th place team.
Well, listen, the last game is versus Atalanta, right? So the first thing you have to do is beat them. That's a 3-point swing. That's a 6-point swing.
A lot easier said than done, Frank.
Right, but I mean, this is what it comes down to, right? Like you have to win on the field. You don't just get to say, I'm Juventus, I should be in 4th place.
Guys like Arthur, how can we lose?
Well, I'm not saying they're poised to do it.
It'll be interesting, though.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of good games to look forward to. Arthur, yeah, go ahead. Good luck getting rid of him.
When
They
you
offered
get caught
offered
between the
him
moon and New York City.
they offered him to PSG. They said take a hike. We don't want to. Anyway, I just wanted to show that because there's a lot of good games to look forward to in the month of January. Anything else you got? Oh, one last thing we want to go over is our challenge next week because that's going to be the focus of our episode, which we talked about it last week, and I think we tweeted it out probably. So challenge, we did this last year, which is can you create a team that can win the Scudetto? Basically what you're doing is you're choosing one player from each team, not currently in the top 4. You're going to make your own formation, your own squad. So you can't pick someone from Inter, Napoli, Milan, or Atalanta. Your selection must also include a coach from one of those teams that are not in the top 4. So you're picking 11 starters, 4 bench players, which is 1 goalie, 1 defender, 1 midfielder, 1 forward, and then 1 coach. So it's 16 total selections.
Yep, and it's harder than it sounds.
Guys, my team is so good.
We all completed ours, but nobody knows, right?
Nope, nobody knows.
I got a team that I can kiss.
Where did you do that? Choose your squad formation. Choose yours. You found the typo. Producer found the typo. Choose your.
Brought to you by
sorry.
Whiteout.
Yes.
Oh.
Choose your squad formation. He's got his right there. He's trying to give us a sneak peek. I don't want to look at it.
I'm not going to lie. I'll give my goalie sucks, but other than that.
I think it's always interesting, right? We get some debates going.
It'll be really fun. So I don't know. Last year we revealed the teams one by one, and then we talked about it. I don't know if we're going to do it the same way. That's up to the producer.
Yeah, I think we should find a way to make it more engaging. Producer, get on that.
So we have that, and then if you are listening and you want to submit your own squad to us, tweet us, do something, bring it to us somehow, and we will look at your guys' selections too. Yeah, or email it to us, tifositime@gmail.com, Twitter, all that stuff. Just get it to us, and we'll talk about them on the podcast as well, and probably rip your team apart because it's not going to be as good as mine. I can tell you right now. I can already say with confidence I will have the best team, no doubt in my mind.
You want to bet? You want to
disagree.
bet better than you?
I think the fans voted last year and they picked mine to be the best.
I remember last year, Daddy had starters that I had on my bench.
His starters were on my bench. That's how bad his team was.
Started what?
Your starting players were on my bench last year, so let's just remember that. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week. Like, follow YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, all
Subscribe.
your podcasts, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will see you next week, Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Good
Yeah.
night.
Bye. Thanks
Good
for
night.
listening.
Good night.
Adios, people. Have a good New Year.
Oh, yeah, New Year.